Hi there, Ian, Plot 52. Yeah, I'm in the shed this morning, just had a little sort out, and you can see I've got my little hat on, thanks to one of my children. I'm not doing merchandise, it's just having a little bit of fun. Yeah, so this morning we're going to take down the bean poles. We didn't have time last week's sort of visit down to the plot to do that, so we're going to do that tomorrow, today, and I always save the beans. If I can save a few beans, it's just nice to sort of grow them on from the year before. I always buy some as well and do a bit of mix and match, and then you can just sort of see how it's comparing. But I don't think there's been any difference this year in the ones that I grew, that I bought, the Benchmaster, which was supposed to be sort of a bit longer. They were a bit longer, but they do go over quite quickly and goes too stringy. So there's no point in buying the bigger ones unless you're showing and you want sort of something 12 inches long. I think you're better off picking them when they're 6 inches long anyway. So yeah, I'm pleased with what I've got this year, and the beans I picked last week were really lovely and really tender, and for the middle of October that was good. And I think those were the beans that I planted in the ground back in June, when I was putting in my probably late May, early June, when I was putting in my beans that I'd grown on in the greenhouse. Now I'm really pleased. My progress with the cauliflowers have done really well, and I'll show you those. And the plot, you know, the weeds don't grow now, so once you've cleared it away by the end of the month and the clock's changed, apart from the leeks and the Brussels sprouts, there'll be nothing left really growing in the allotment. And then I normally put it bed for the winter. There'll be a few overwinter jobs, bit of manure. I've got to move my bean frame, and then that'll be about it. So further ado, I'm going to crack on and take down the beans. Now we've just come over to look at these cauliflowers, because it's a bit of a fad growing them actually, but these have gone really well, and these are seeds from my greenhouse, so that's lovely. That's the best head I've had from my own seeds. So sometimes get bigger ones, but they mean more when you grow them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 decent coming along, and I think we're not going to get much bigger than that, and that one is just starting to go over. So that's going to be picked today, and we'll have some cauliflower. Well, I'll do some cauliflower and cheese for my other half. That's one of their favourites. So yeah, the leeks. Now you've got to actually sort of earth them up a little bit, which will actually be done today as well, and we're just sort of keeping the plot sort of tidy. And we just go over to the beans. Now you can see the beans where they've dried off. They're the ones with the really nice beans that we can use for next year, and I'll be taking down all the bulbs, all the poles and everything, so that'll be lovely. But there's still a few young beans there, but not many, so I think we've done pretty well this year. So I'm just going to sort of take them down. Now the ones that I planted later are over this side, and you can see those are sort of fairly new beans. Might be tempted to pick them. There's a few more up there. Got those ones there, which aren't too bad. Discoloured a little bit, but they're mainly after the dry ones, so we're going to pick the dry ones off first and then pick the others, and then the greenery from the runner beans makes absolutely brilliant. So you see all the leaves have gone in a week now, so yeah, that all needs sort of clearing up. I'll cut back that clematis as well. So sort of only want to keep it on the actual arch, and yeah, the plums have sort of gone over, which is a shame, but I'll pick those next year. So it's just this half of the allotment today, this quarter, that I'm going to pay attention to, and maybe if I get time I'll get in the fruit cage just to sort of kind of pick up some of the stray weeds. If I do it now, then obviously it's sort of done for the year. And I put lots of strawberries into this trough last week, which was good, and the runners from over here are doing really well, and we'll get a good harvest for next year. But yeah, I'm going to give you a review when we've completed it. Okay, as you can see, we're halfway through. We've got our poles there, and it's going to be very recyclable and keep all the little bits of twine. So you can see we've got 4 more poles left to do. It's quite a long job really. You've got a lot of twine to unwrap. I mean, it stood up to the test of time, so that's really good. And there's still the odd sort of bean on there. So what I'll do is that pile of beans there, that will make really good manure really if you dig it back into the ground. So I'll pop it, dig it in over the other side, cover it up, rake it in, and just let it sort of die down. It's the best way, best thing. It's one of the best forms of fertilising. There might be a few stray beans, but I've decided that's where my beans are going to go, sort of in line just where we're standing now, just so that I can have a little bit of an area at the front, very similar sort of position to this side really. So yeah, we're just going to crack on. It's all done, it's all tidied, and a little dig over. I've got a pile, just let that rot down and then we can dig that in. And no more beans, they've all gone. And I've tied string around some of the heads of the cauliflowers that need to be done because they're sort of spraying out. These sort of ones here like this, they're all protected, you can't see the heads, but once the heads gone open then you just tie them up. And we'll check them every sort of 3 or 4 days. So the arch has been trimmed back just to sort of kind of make it a little bit sort of tidier. There's a fair bit of digging, and the structure will be taken down sometime after Christmas. So picked a few Savoy cabbages. They're actually not getting a lot bigger, but we'll give them another few weeks and see what they do. And we're going to call that a day. Oh, we've got our sweet potatoes, so I didn't pick those up. I'm going to take those home and see what they are going to do, to be honest. So, probably going to only be 1 or 2 more videos for this year. We're going to call that a day now. The sun is just trying to come out up on the clouds there, but the rain stayed away and we had a good session. Thanks for watching.